Funday. So I hope you guys had a good weekend. In Jersey this week, it was like 90 degrees during the whole week, and kids had off school, the Easter break. So it felt like summer around here. It was absolutely nuts. It was really, really good week. And also want to say is thank you for everyone for all the prayers with my uncle that passed away. And I really, really appreciate that. So today we have Mary's Heirloom Seeds, and we're going to talk about her journey through creating a seed company. So that's going to be so awesome. It's like, how you guys, when I had Luke on from MI Gardener, this is basically the same thing. And so you guys are in for a big treat. There's a lot to learn here, and she's a tremendous woman, that's for sure. At 8 o'clock hour, we have 3 interviews with Bacon Leg and Let's Dig It, Idaho Garden Girl, and Bushcraft Family. And it's only 5 minutes going over what's going on with their channel. And instead of just showing a video, hey, check this out, it's another way to show a face to a channel. And hopefully you guys will follow that. Memberships start here at 99 cents with Zucchini Club. And we go on from Joseph's, the Jelly Bean Club, a Superhero Club, and Joseph's Journey. Got my Strawberry Road done this week. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So I finally got that done. And this week will be my onions and potatoes. So I'm 2 weeks behind everything, but I'm getting there. So, well, here comes our guest. This is Mary's Heirloom Seeds. So welcome in.
Hi.
So when did you start gardening?
Oh my goodness. As far back as I can remember, almost off and on. I started gardening when I was a kid. I grew up spending a lot of summers with my granny, and she had by far the best tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. I heard you talk about your Jersey tomatoes, and I've heard stories about Jersey tomatoes, but going to Granny's house and having some of her tomatoes, she always had them on the counter, was really what kick-started me into gardening. I had another grandmother who had a full-blown farm with animals. So off and on, I've been growing since I was a kid.
It's funny. When I went to Michigan, right? And I'm like, I had a tomato sandwich every single day. I love tomatoes. And I went to Michigan and they made a tomato sandwich. And I'm like, oh, what's this? It was a store-bought tomato,
Right.
And I'm like, This is not a tomato.
I know.
So your biggest influence was your grandmother then?
Yeah, 2 grandmothers, but one in particular that I spent more time with, I should say. She was a huge influence on my passion for gardening.
And what was her favorite food? Like, what did she have in a garden?
So
was it a small garden?
My granny was originally from England, and she had a beautiful English garden. She had a lot of flowers primarily, but pretty much the only vegetable she grew was tomatoes. But she had so many different flowers. We would walk around the garden as she got older. I spent some time taking care of her. So that was when I really had a lot more time in the garden with her. And we would walk around and she would show me the different flowers she had and how to properly care for them, deadheading your flowers and pruning different things back, different flowers back. She had cactus. She had just so many different plants in a very, very small backyard that my grandfather built for her. So that was a huge influence. Absolutely.
Now, the locations that you live, like in New Jersey, we want to, you're going to need to grow inside, right? But
right.
You always want to have that greenhouse or something in the back so you could put something outside for a little bit. And have you always just started seeds inside to outside? Have you just started outside? What places have you lived in?
I've done a lot of different types of gardening, especially, the different types of seed starting. I think that's one of the benefits of the information I provide to my customers and my YouTube subscribers. I have lived in different places. So I grew up in San Diego, California. I moved to South Florida. So I went from zone 8 to zone 10. And then I moved back I started Mary's Heirloom Seeds in 2011. And then several years later, I moved back to California after my dad broke his neck. And I wanted to help a little bit with the family business. He needed a lot of help. He's healed up now, but I did want to help him out. So we moved to Ramona, California for 5, almost 6 years. And that was a completely different experience, growing in a beach community in San Diego to the semi mountains in California, and then also southern Florida. And now, of course, if you've been following my channel, I'm in Ben Wheeler, Texas, which is East Texas. So you're talking zone 8, 9, and 10. They are absolutely completely different. Now we grow part of our seeds indoors, and then we transplant out. And then I grow a lot of it outdoors, just direct seeding. When we were in Florida, most of what I grew, I direct seeded. There was no seed starting indoors for the most part, because you didn't really have a cold snap. You had maybe 2 days of cold weather throughout the entire year.
You know, it's crazy. Around here in May 17th, there was a freeze here a couple of years ago.
Oh.
And I was late. I'm always late. I'm always 2 weeks late. And and everybody's gardens, they all died.
Yeah.
And I come out with mine. I'm like, whoop, whoop. I'm ready to go. Let's go. You just never know.
You don't.
Wherever you live.
Even where we are here, our last frost date last year was supposed to be mid-November, and we had an early freeze in late October. So I was so sad. I lost almost 3 weeks worth of gardening. You know, some of our squash, they're a little more frost tolerant. Maybe you could get a couple of squash off the plant before, but it's definitely interesting dealing with the frost and then dealing with different growing seasons, really.
Now let's talk about the soil, because I know where you live now, you had a lot of problems in the beginning with the soil, so you had to add a lot of stuff to it to make it work. Is that correct? Because I remember watching a video when you first came, and I was like, oh, I just got to get started. I got to do this.
So we moved here in June of 21. Yes, June of 21. I got it. All my years it gets a little fun and interesting in the garden. You have to think, like, what year was that? So we moved here June of 21, and I started a garden immediately. We didn't even have our refrigerator delivered yet, and I was already putting in a garden. So I start moving things around, and I start planting stuff, and half of this area was just red clay, which you can grow in, but it takes a lot of effort. And then the other half was good soil. And I was like, great, this is awesome. I'm going to start, I bought a bunch of soil as well, just to add and amend to this area. And then about maybe 2.5 weeks into my planting, my first seed planting was July 1st. And I got some flack from people that were from Texas going, you can't grow a garden in July. And of course, I'm like, watch me. But 2.5 weeks in, as you're looking at these raised beds behind me, I have what I describe as a river running through it. So I had these rows going one way, the opposite way of how my raised beds are. And a literal stream of water went directly through my garden. So it took out not all of my rows, but it took out a strip through every single row. Wow. So it's taken some adapting to get to this point. The garden I'm sitting in right now, we're semi-rural. So the garden I'm sitting in right now that I do a lot of my videos in is the one that I pretty much is the only place I get reception to do a video. So that's why I have my raised beds the way they are, because the water flows a certain way on the property, and I'm adapting my garden to the natural flow of things here.
Yeah, don't you wish your Wi-Fi just went like just a little bit farther each time? I remember when you first moved there too, and you're like, I don't know if my Wi-Fi is gonna. You did testing with your Wi-Fi, and I'm like, yep. I try to do it in my backyard. I'm like, this doesn't work. It just goes a little too farther. I need to like another 50 feet, or maybe a little bit more than that.
And
um,
those are the ups and downs of living in different areas. We have a tower, we have a booster, but you know, we're in a really small town, and we were lucky to get the good Wi-Fi that we have as it is. So
now challenges. Now, you know what cracks me up is every year there is a challenge in your
oh
garden.
yeah,
Nothing's
definitely.
ever the same. So I
Nope.
see some people that come on sites go, you know, I'm going to do the same thing I did last year because it was so perfect. It
Yeah,
was like no bugs. Everything was great. I grew so many peppers and tomatoes.
yeah.
Now, that cracks me up every single time because each
Yeah.
year I go into it. Oh, there's not going to be any bugs. I mean, you know, there's not going to be any more vine borers in this section.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Challenges in the garden, I find I never consider them failures. They're always an opportunity to learn.
Mhm,
So going from Florida, where you have intense heat, especially South Florida, it gets much warmer down there. So you have a lot of bugs. You have things like lubbers, which the first time I saw it, I go, "Oh, that is so pretty. It's like a grasshopper, but it's green and red and yellow and orange." And then the next year, it was like completely overtaking my garden.
mhm,
So here, the biggest challenges for me have been bugs. I will say that because when we were in Ramona, California, it's Southern California, it's semi-mountain area, I did not have squash vine borers. I will say that. Like the 6 years that I was growing in that garden,
mhm.
rarely had squash vine borers. Here, definitely an issue. So we're adapting to that and finding varieties that grow better with squash vine borers. And those are um like the kings and queens in my garden, and they are tromboncino squash and tatume squash.
Mhm.
Both of them are resistant to squash vine borers, and both of them can be grown as a winter squash as well as a summer squash. So those are definitely like something that I will grow every single year in my garden because they come out the best.
That's great to know. And can you repeat that for everybody in the chat to know that? What is the two varieties for? Uh,
I sent out emails. I sent out emails because I was so excited about them recently. Tromboncino squash,
okay.
and I might be mispronouncing it. It's an Italian variety of squash,
Mhm.
and then Tatume squash, and that is a Mexican variety of squash.
That's I
Both of them are heirloom, and both of them are fantastic if you struggle with uh, squash vine borers in the garden.
I think well we all gonna struggle with we all
I
do.
know. I know.
The
We
best
use
thing
companion
ever.
planting as our primary form of defense against bugs. We tend to grow with nature and try not to fight it too much. So just kind of adapting is important.
One of the things that worked for me was peppermint. Now, but
Okay.
you know, the thing is though, you don't want peppermint in your garden, you know, because it
Right.
just takes over. So I'm gonna put a couple plants in pots, of course,
Yep.
and put them near the stems and see what goes on. I'm also gonna do the same thing with oregano and see
Good.
if this
That's a good one.
oregano kind of distracts it too. And see, well, oregano, just let it grow wild. Who cares? It's good.
Yeah, that's one of those. That's one of those that if it took over the garden, I wouldn't really mind because I do use a lot of oregano too. So if you make sauce, it's excellent.
Now, since we're talking about sauce, how much canning do you do, and how do you find the time to do it?
Oh my goodness. So I don't can as much sauce as I wish I could.
Mhm,
One part of my garden is specifically for seeds, so I don't always can that. By the time you're harvesting seeds, generally it's not necessarily as tasty as you would when you would pick it at its peak ripeness.
mhm.
But I do a lot of freezing. That's one of my main things. We have an extra freezer here specifically for that purpose. I do can a lot of my garden is for preservation. So if I'm not preserving it for seeds or eating it, we are preserving it in the form of canning or drying. I have a dehydrator and I really love that as well.
Now, when did you compost tea? When did you start using compost tea, and what was the effects on your plants?
I've always used compost tea, or some sort of tea itself. I use manure tea, I use compost tea, and I use worm tea as the most recent addition to it. I buy compost when I moved here, because obviously I can't haul my compost from 1,500 miles away. And then now that we have our own compost bins here, we're using compost tea as well. It's a great addition to the garden, and it's the most natural and easy thing you can do.
Now, like leaf mold, do you use a lot of leaf mold? And do you like do you cut it up somehow to make it easier to break down? Like using a weed whacker?
I generally don't. I generally just leave it be. I kind of, I wouldn't say I'm a lazy gardener. I said that in my last video and somebody laughed because they know me too well. I don't like a high maintenance garden. And part of that is because, if you make it too difficult, especially when I'm trying to educate people, if you make it too difficult, sometimes people just gloss over, okay, skip it on to the next thing. I'm not going to do this. So typically I would rather leave the leaves for longer and allow them to break down naturally than to have another piece of equipment that I have to figure out how to use and then maybe speed up the process. So I typically just leave it.
Now, what is your biggest challenge every year in a garden? Is it the same thing? Like one thing that you just can't, it's like even growing broccoli. Some people are like, I just can't grow broccoli. I just can't do it. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't say that it's the same every year. Just like you said, if you asked 5 people how to grow tomatoes, you'd probably get 6 different answers, because there's never one specific way that it has to be done. And I like to bend the rules in the garden. So when people say, oh, well, you can't grow eggplant in that area, or, you can't grow in Texas in July. Well, obviously that wasn't exactly correct, because I started a garden and was harvesting in 42 days, was a scallop squash. Mm-hmm. So every year is different. I have recently started adding fruit trees and berries to my homestead. And I would say that is the biggest challenge for me, is learning something newer. Vegetables, I've been growing vegetables for a very long time. I've been starting from seed for a very long time. But the fruit stuff is new to me.
Now, how about pollinators? Have you seen a big decrease and increase now in the last 2 years? In our site, New Jersey, last year, we finally got a lot of pollinators come in, and I'm so happy about that. What are you seeing where you live?
So January is Plant for Pollinators Month at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. So I'm a big fan of educating on pollinators. I will say that it's something that people have mentioned and noticed over the last couple of years. When you drive down the highway, depending on where you are, typically your windshield is like covered in bugs by the time you get home or by the time you finish your trip. And now more recently, you're seeing a lot less of that. And I mean, not that it's a good thing that you're squishing bugs, but it means that you have a lot less pollinators flying around, potentially, to pollinate your gardens. In my specific area, I don't notice it because, one, we're in a really small rural area. So I'm not in a big city where there's a lot of concrete and whatnot. And I plant for pollinators. I'm looking around in my garden. I also don't pull weeds outside of my garden beds. I was actually explaining to my husband just yesterday, because he didn't want to mow the yard. And I was like, well, don't. I'm really happy that you don't want a manicured lawn. And he said, well, are you sure? It looks a little unsightly. Aren't those weeds? And I'm like, yeah, but you know what a weed is? A weed is just a misunderstood plant, because I'm looking around at different types of clover. We've got 4 or 5 different types of clover. We've got different weeds, yellow flowers blooming. We've got plantain all over the place. And all of that will eventually allow flowers all over the place to bring those pollinators in.
That's pretty interesting about your car, because my car used to be filled with them all the time.
Uh-huh.
I Uber as a third job.
I saw that.
I don't have any bugs on my car.
Yeah.
None. Now
Yeah.
I'm thinking, wow, that makes total sense with the pollinator loss. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy thinking it that way.
And part of the loss of pollinators is because a couple things. One, you have a little less habitat for them. So as we destroy their natural habitat, we build homes, we build properties of different sorts. Not that we shouldn't be building homes. Obviously, we need a place to live in. But when we do remove that habitat, we're removing their home. So that's one of the reasons why I encourage everybody to plant for pollinators. But then also you've got more people going, I want this perfectly manicured yard. I don't want these weeds. What can I spray on them? And I've had people email me, well, Mary, I've got these weeds in my front yard. What do I do? And I'm like, well, leave them. Well, but it's dandelion. Well, eat it. Like, and I'm not trying to be rude or snarky, but dandelion is absolutely edible. But if you don't know that, maybe you just want to pull it up or you want to spray it. But if you can actually find a way to either use it or allow the pollinators to get to it, you're really doing your garden and yourself a service.
What I notice so much is as I grow older, I'm getting really old with my gray hair. There's so many benefits in everybody's garden, but nobody gets taught.
Yeah.
With stinging nettle or
Yep.
marigolds, clovers, everything that's out there that we just mow over.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or try to kill it when instead it's so beneficial.
Yeah.
Very beneficial. I mean, the nutrition info on all these is like incredible. They're so good for us, fighting inflammation, fighting cancer, whatever. It's amazing. Now, now saving seeds. Okay, you got your own seed company. How much your seed company comes from your own plants, and how much you get it from a distributor?
So I don't have that specific information, but what I don't grow, I source from small family farmers and seed growers within the U.S. So, and some of those are even my family. For example, my sister, over the winter, she's still in Southern California. She sent me ají limón peppers, and she sent me whole fresh peppers, and she sent me peppers that she had dried herself, and she sent me seeds. So then I'm going to go ahead and take those and I'm going to grow them and I'm going to offer them for seeds for my customers as well. So it is really nice to be able to have that, one, to be able to offer more. When I first started, I think I offered 20 varieties of heirloom seeds, and now we're around 800. And I don't have, thousands of acres to be able to grow that many varieties of corn, for example. So, of course, I'm going to work with small family farmers and seed growers, and we work together pretty well. I've got, what have I got here? One of my absolute favorites is Cherokee Purple, and I have a whole bed back there for it. So that's one of my all-time favorite heirloom tomatoes. It's not a paste tomato. It's a delicious slicer. And that one, I think, is definitely one of my favorite seeds to save.
Now, I have used your seeds. I had great germination rates on every single plant. Every single seed I'd grown from you.
Nice.
And I'm like, wow, this is so freaking awesome. Because it's fresh seed. And those little distributors or whatever, you want to call them out there, they're great. Those little farms giving you the seeds. And sometimes the bigger companies is not as good as the smaller company. And especially with germination rates. And
I don't grow anything. I don't sell anything that I wouldn't grow in my own garden. And I wouldn't, that's one of the big things that people mention to me all the time is that germination rates are amazing. We work really hard to make sure that the seeds that we offer are quality, high germination seeds, because I grow from the same stock that I'm growing and saving as well. So I know offhand that, our germination rates are pretty awesome. I have some of my own personal friends. She said she said she had 77 cells, and she goes, oh, I'll just plant 2 seeds per cell. It'll be fine. Anything I don't, anything I don't need, I'll just use at a later time. Well, she ended up with all of them germinating and all of those plants. And she's like, well, now what am I going to do with all these plants? I'm like, well, use them, sell them, share them.
There you go. It's funny because I do that to my hot peppers. So I'm growing 650 varieties of hot peppers.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a little nuts. And I have 3 cells and I put 2 seeds in each. And I got about five plants each I'm using instead of 3,
Right.
So I'm like,
whoop, whoop, whoop. Exactly.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty nuts growing it. Now, what YouTube channels do you follow religiously? If you do follow, you know what? Your time is so limited. I know your time's limited from the seed to everything else. Do you have time to follow anybody else?
Honestly, I really don't have a lot of extra time. When I've been sharing YouTube videos and doing YouTube videos. And if you watch some of my stuff and you check out my channel, I haven't really been doing a lot of my own videos recently. Mostly it's a weekly live because it gets crazy around here. There's a couple that I follow, but I don't have the time to sit there and watch everybody's stuff. I will say off the top of my head, there are 2 ladies, and I hope if you're watching my YouTube channel and I don't mention you, I apologize. But there are 2 ladies in particular that pushed me to be better at sharing content, both on social media, YouTube especially. And that is Catherine at Little Bits of Heaven Homestead. She isn't active on YouTube at this time, but she shares a lot of information specifically about homesteading, not just in the garden. And then there's Julie at Dirt Patch Heaven, and she's recently changed her name, but she does gardening in Idaho, and it's cold there. Like, I'm not a cold weather person. So, I heard you say earlier that it was 90 degrees where you are. I like the warm weather. So I admire the fact that Julie is growing year round in off-grid in Idaho. That's just, it's amazing to me. And she uses my seeds as well, which is great.
It was 90. Now it's like yesterday was 55. Back to normal.
Well, it was mid 80s this week, and it's like mid 70s, high 70s today. So it's nice to be out in the garden again. I'm not a big fan of cold weather, so.
Everybody in chat hold on with the questions. We're gonna we'll do a little questions after we're done.
Okay.
I'm speechless. I'm so tired. I'm exhausted.
I understand.
Okay, well, I'm going to show your YouTube page and your seed where you can buy seeds from Mary Heirloom Seeds.
Yay!
And let's go over it for a little bit. So let's go. This is your Facebook. So click like that.
Hey, that's on Facebook. Yep.
So if you're on Facebook, go to Mary's Heirloom Seeds, and you guys can check that out right there. And you can see she's from Texas right over here. And here you get companion planting with radishes. There's so much information on all these pages and giveaways. Here, you guys, look, you got a giveaway.
My seed giveaway. I do a monthly seed giveaway on. I post it to my website. I no longer do it on social media because it's too difficult to keep out the scammers sometimes, especially on Facebook. It was really difficult. So everything's on my website, and that way people can't steal your info. Hey, there's a link to the video tonight.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. And you have, here we go. This is grown acorn squash from seed to harvest.
And I do seed giveaways on my website every month. I love it. That's one of the extra fun things. And there's my YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And that picture never gets old. Something about just this tiny little seed, and it's germinating in that tiny, well, that's a bean, so it's not super tiny, but that little seed will produce this giant plant and will feed us. It's just amazing.
You know, there's nothing like seeing your first seed pop up when you start your year. You're like,
Yep.
oh, this is so exciting. This is amazing.
And I still, after all these years, I still take pictures.
There we go. What is that? String beans?
Oh, I went crazy planting beans. Yes. I was like Johnny Appleseed one day, and those are dwarf Taylor horticulture beans. Just again, I planted from 2021 seeds and had almost 100% germination. So they're still pretty good. Oh, can I talk about that really quick?
Perfect. Go ahead.
So that's another one of the exciting things at Mary's Heirloom Seeds, that outside of seeing that first little seed pop up, that gets me up and running in the morning time. There isn't a day that goes by that I wake up and I go, oh, I don't want to go to work, because that's part of why I do what I do. I have a school garden donation program, and it is fully funded by myself and orders from Mary's Heirloom Seeds. So giving back is one of the most important things, besides obviously growing seeds to share, is giving back. So we started this program only a year after we started Mary's Heirloom Seeds, and I was going to schools and planting with the kids. I still go to schools and plant with the kids, and we went from one school to last year, I was able to donate seeds to over 150 organizations in the US. And school gardens are my primary focus, but we also do nonprofit gardens, like community gardens, veterans gardens. That's another really important one. We even have elderly care centers that have gardens for their residents. And so that's another super important part of Mary's Heirloom Seeds, is our school garden donation program. Because when you see those kids' faces, and we do a plant for pollinators with them at their different events, and they just get so excited about planting seeds or talking about pollinators, that just it makes me happy.
You know, there's been like a 30-year lapse where kids weren't taught, go to the store, buy your food. Nothing about hard work, nothing about going in the garden, nothing about your food. All the schools was completely gone. So what you're doing, it's so refreshing, because we need more of that from every single town in America.
Yeah. And giving them the opportunity then to eat from their garden. A friend of mine, she lives right down the road. She was at the local grocery store, and she was at the checkout line or whatever, and the kid didn't know what it was. She looked at the kid and she goes, "It's celery." He's like, "Oh, he didn't know what celery was." And I just thought, that's so sad. But then at the same time, I get an email from one of my customers with pictures. I can't share the pictures because they're not public, but the kids' backpacks had overflowing food from the garden, and some of that was those big stalks of celery. So she said it was really interesting to see that the kids went for the leaves of the celery before they went for the celery, because some of them had never even eaten that before.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I just find it like, how did this happen? Why did it happen? Who cut this stuff out?
Some of it is lower income schools. One of the teachers reached out to me, and they grew melons, and he said some of these kids have never had a fresh melon before, and they're in like 4th grade. Some of them don't have access to that. Sometimes it's the schools that are cutting out, they don't have the funding, or it's not important to them. That's the extra stuff is the first thing that gets cut when schools don't have that budget. So if I can do my part, that I feel like that's just really important.
Well, you're definitely doing your part, and that's so awesome. I know Baker's Creek Seeds does that a lot too, and some other companies, but we need more of it. We need
more. We absolutely do. And we need volunteers to do it, because I can't be in 180 classrooms across the US, but if we get more parents, more teachers, more staff involved, hopefully we can make an even bigger difference.
So I just went to Mary's Heirloom Seeds. This is where you can buy your seeds. And so Here you got here. These are all heirloom too, guys. Heirloom
Yep.
beans, beets, cabbage, carrots, corn, cucumbers, eggplant. I almost feel like I'm singing a song. Onions, peas, peppers, radish, pumpkin, tomatoes. And you got grains here. And let me see, fruit. So you got berry seeds, melon seeds, and watermelon seeds.
Yep.
And you got your herbs and soil amendments. Let me click on that. So let me see. Endomycorrhizal. Let me see. So this is all that looks sold out.
Yeah. Some of them are sold out. Is as we get through the end of the year, you will see more sold out on our website as well as we restock for next year. But there's a lot still available. As far as my primary focus is seeds, so you won't see a lot of seeds sold out, but you will see some of the soil amendments sold out. Some of them are on sale right now, like the Mountain Flower Root Boost or the Azomite. Azomite is it's a trace mineral. It's full of trace minerals. So instead of your macronutrients, so you like your NPK, you have other nutrients that are just as important.
Yeah, azomite is so important because everything in the ground. A lot of people have been using fertilizer all these years, and using the same spots to garden all these years. We got to start adding to the soil.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
Azomite definitely helps out doing that. And it helps those little critters away. So if you have more moisture in your plants, all those bugs come to the good food. They don't want it because they explode.
Yeah, and a healthier plant, a healthier soil will grow a healthier plant, and a healthier plant will fight off diseases and pests a lot better than one that is a little sickly.
Here you have the April seed giveaway.
Yep. So that's my blog. You will find so much information on my blog. If you use the search option and you type in comprehensive planting guide or just comprehensive, you'll find my updated comprehensive planting guide. I've spent hundreds of hours adding to that and you've got videos, you've got tutorials, you've got so much information there. There you go. That's the top one there.
So you can see right here. I think you guys should be able to see that. There's comprehensive planting guides, and it has it for each territory too, right?
Yeah, I refer to that often. Even though I have a region-specific and a zone-specific planting guide, I'm very much more planting by frost dates because every year is different. And there's no guarantee that your frost date this year is going to be the same. So even though it says, say, in May, you can plant all these things, or I should say in March or April, you can plant all these things, you really need to check your frost dates. So I do kind of hammer that in on my videos.
And I like how you have Florida is totally different.
Yes. Yes. So living in Florida, I learned everything is completely different. I got there the first year, I planted all my stuff, and then I was like, oh, this is not the same type of planting. So when those of you in New Jersey are covered in snow, the people in Florida are harvesting their tomatoes. So we do have a specific guide for those three regions in Florida because it's a whole nother world. And that's why you won't see on my seeds, you won't see plant this seed in spring or plant the seed in April, because everybody is different. I've got customers in Alaska and they're not going to be planting when the people in Florida are planting. So I have a little more specific guide for those.
So we're going to go over some of the seeds you have here. And so I'm going to click on heirloom beans. And if you could talk about any of the beans, some of your favorites.
Oh, so many. I did a trial of jade beans and blue lake bush beans. Blue lake bush beans are probably the #1 sold bean for backyard gardeners. And I found that my jade beans produced more in the higher heat that we had here in Texas. So that's a really good one. I highly recommend the jade bush bean. You've got the dwarf Taylor horticulture bean that we just passed. And that one was the picture you saw on my Facebook page. Most of these can be eaten as a green snap bean right away, as a fresh bean. and then some of them are better as a dry bean, and that information is there. You can categorize them. You can click the sort by however. So you've got the dry beans and you've got the snap beans. You've got pole beans and you've got bush beans. Some people prefer pole beans. I prefer bush beans.
Mhm.
I don't know why. It's just a personal preference.
Now, growing in such a hot zone, you want to grow closer to the ground, so it's with the bush beans. Like if you
Yep.
grow your climbing beans,
Yeah.
Is it a lot harder to grow in the hot temperatures for
It's not
climbing
hotter.
beans?
It's not necessarily hotter to grow, but if you think about it, behind me, I've got chicken wire attached to just wood. I just used recycled stuff that I either already had or that was already on the property. And this wire gets hot in the summertime. So you really need to find something a little easier. Some people use plastic. Some people use like a TP. They use wood. So I would use more wood than I would metal for my pole beans. I've got a ton of different fun varieties of beans as well. I like the fun, exciting ones. So I like royalty purple potted beans. They are beautiful purple. They are so much easier to find when you're harvesting. So if you have this beautiful green bush, you can point out those purple beans so much easier. Let's see. They also turn green when you cook them. So just a heads up, if you're looking for something fun. What else? The Roma bean is good. It's a flat Romano bean. And that one is really good for, one of my customers made it that her grandmother used the recipe, and it was like a Dutch French cut bean. And she said that was the best one she had ever tried specifically for that recipe.
Wow. How about the long pole beans, the Oriental kind?
Those are so much fun. So those are more similar to a southern pea. So the flavor is a little bit different. The growing habitat is a little different, and they thrive in the heat. So that's definitely a good one. If you do have an area that's a little warmer than most, you can definitely plant those.
Okay, so I just clicked on beets, and what are some of your favorite beets?
That golden beet is one of my favorites. That's from my sister's garden. That picture is. She grows some of the most bright colored beets. I love that one. And then the Chioggia beet is my second favorite. It almost looks like peppermint candy. It's got a little bullseye. Depending on how you slice it, it's going to have a little more white in different places, but that one is pretty awesome as well. And it doesn't stain your countertop. So if you like a little less mess, that's another good one for you.
I love beets. I gotta know I gotta find in the garden like now.
Yeah.
I'm late.
I've got them growing already. I've been harvesting the greens for my beets all week.
Oh, that's great. Now I'm on cabbage. What are some of your favorite cabbages?
I like the Chinese.
Growing in the heat is totally different.
Totally different. I like the Chinese cabbages because I don't have as much difficulty with them, because generally they're a little faster to harvest. So those dwarf pak choys, those are like 30, 33 days. Mm-hmm. You can even scatter them on the soil and then harvest some as microgreens. And then the regular pak choy, you've got my hand there. That one is a really good one as well. It's fairly pest tolerant. Yeah, you'll probably see a couple nibbles in there. But that was a really good one as well. And again, with the heat, I have to take into consideration something that's going to be ready to harvest a little sooner if I want to eat it without it bolting first.
Yeah, I never really thought about growing cabbage in the heat like that.
Yeah, you got to plant it early, cover it sometimes so you don't have as many bugs, of course, because we've got bugs here. It's not a battle I will win, and it's not really a battle I want to win. So we coexist here.
Now, Mary, I'm in carrots now. Now, I'm in a Wide Family Farm. They have a carrot contest. They have two. The one's the longest you could grow the longest carrot or the heaviest carrot.
Okay.
Which
I did
one?
see that.
Which ones would you suggest for something like that?
I think the longest, they might actually be similar or the same. I think the longest might be the Kyoto red.
Mm-hmm.
That one's a really long and skinny one. It's not necessarily going to be as bulky. I would have to say if you wanted the bulkiest one, maybe let me think about that. I have to think about that one. The one that would give you the biggest bulk. It might be the St. Valerie carrots. They're not super long, but they're thick. They're thicker.
I can't wait to start this contest. I'm late, but I got my game plan. I got it all out there in the garden. Now I got to start it this week.
There you go.
These ox hearts are huge. They're just a little stubby.
They're stubby. That's another one that will give you a lot of size, like weight, but they're on the shorter side, so they won't give you as much bulk. Those Parisian ones are pretty good too. They're small, round. So if you have an area that maybe isn't very deep, the Parisian carrots are a fantastic option because they're round instead of going straight down.
That's this right here. Cool. You know, a lot of people don't order those because they look weird.
Yeah.
Everybody's used to the carrot you buy at a store, you know?
Yep. Yep.
So, but the other ones they're so good.
Yeah. and eating it straight out of the garden is another one of those things that not many people have that experience. And if you haven't had that experience, obviously I washed it off. But the black nebula carrot is a great one. You just grow it and you wash it off really good and you can just chomp right down on it. And I like things that are different. So the black nebula, or even better is the cosmic purple.
This right here.
That one is great.
And if you notice, guys, these are all on this discounted price. A lot of discounts here. $2.
I do have a couple on sale. I like to give people the option of trying something new, without having to spend, $5 on a pack of seeds. So you might try a purple carrot that you've never tried before because you see that little sale tag on there.
Okay, I'm on corn. Now, a lot of people. Now, what would you grow as a popcorn, where you could put it in a microwave or can and pop? Which one?
I actually have some YouTube videos on growing popcorn and actually popping it with my niece and nephew. The popcorn variety, my favorite is glass gem, hands down. You can use it as a grinding corn as well. But that one is so spectacular. If you look at some of the different colors, you go anywhere from like all mostly blue or all mostly pink, or you've got different types of colors. That is hands down my favorite popping corn. Calico is one of the new ones that we offer this year. And my second favorite is probably the strawberry popcorn because it's so cute. It actually looks like a little strawberry.
Let me check that out.
The strawberries, it's just that color that you get is pretty cool. Now, when you pop it though, you're not going to get red popcorn, or you're not going to get pink popcorn. It's just the outer color of the seed or kernel.
I have never seen that one before, the strawberry popcorn.
It's really cool.
By it. Wow, look at that.
I like that they're small. I like that they're small and they're not, the glass gem can go short or long depending on, when you harvest it. But I like those because they're just little teeny things.
I got a question for you now. When you grow corn, you got to grow a lot of it so it could pollinate. Is there a corn that doesn't need as much pollination?
No. Corn is wind pollinated, and
right.
Each one of those tassels goes to one of those kernels of corn. Mm-hmm. So what I recommend people do is, if you're going to grow corn, grow it in chunks, or that's kind of the easiest way to describe it, but don't grow it in these long rows. grow it in squares or clumps, and I break the rules when I plant because I plant them a little too close, but it means that I get better pollination. I just have to watch the water and nutrient content because they're heavy feeders. They take a lot of water. And then I grow it in an area where it has some sort of wind block. Even though I want a lot of wind, a Texas storm will blow that whole thing down. So I put it in an area that has a little bit of coverage, but not 100% coverage.
No, we're just going to go to cucumbers, tomatoes, and peppers, and then we'll ask questions. Because we're not going to have, we're going to be here forever if we keep on doing what we're doing.
There's a lot to look at.
I'm so excited. Now check out this cucumber, the African horn cucumber. Wow.
Yeah. It's also called a jelly melon. Those are slimy. It's not my favorite cucumber, but some people really love it.
The Armenian cucumber.
That Armenian is my favorite, though. I have had a couple people ask for something that doesn't have a lot of seeds. One in particular, they said they were autistic, and so that sensory thing that they had with the most cucumbers, the seeds, they just couldn't get past it. But the Armenian cucumber is actually not a cucumber. It's in the melon family, I believe. And it doesn't have a large seed. And if you harvest it at that size, when it's smaller, there's minimal to no seeds at that size.
You know, it's funny when you grow these, the Chinese snake and the ones that curve and they're all over the place. They snap on. The one year I grew it, they snapped so many times.
Yeah,
I could never take good care of it.
Yeah.
I like that. It was grew great for a little while, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. If you drop it, forget it. It'll shatter.
Whoop. Nothing like your tender green purplish cucumber. That's my favorite.
That is a good one too.
Okay, so let me get to tomatoes and peppers, and thank you so much for coming on. This is late notice.
Sure.
Mary came on, and I really appreciate it. This has been so much fun. So this is great.
Well, thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it.
So this is peppers. We have 86 people in the chat. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I really, really appreciate it.
And for those of you that may have questions also, and if I don't get to answer it, you can always send me an email. My email is mary@marysheirloomseeds.com, and I do actually answer my own emails. If you have patience with me, I need like 24 to 48 hours because I do get kind of crazy, but you can always send me an email.
Okay, so these are your hot peppers. Now, what's your favorite hot peppers? Do you eat hot peppers?
I love hot peppers. The yellow Scotch bonnet is a great one. And for people that don't like that type of heat, it's similar in heat to a habanero, but with more flavor. And then Tabasco, my two top favorites. I have to grow them every year because they are just fantastic.
You got to watch out for that Peter Pepper.
And yes, I have the Peter Pepper. It's hot, but not as hot.
Actually, I had a Peter Pepper contest last year.
Really?
That was kind of funny. Who could grow the longest Peter Pepper?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you could imagine.
I can imagine, yes.
You know what? You know what's great about growing hot peppers is every single plant is different, every little shape and size, and it's like you walk out there and you're just like, look at it, you just stare at it. It's like amazing. Yeah. Here's your yellow Scotch bonnet. So
that's from a video I did. That picture. I had a friend in New Jersey who's a huge pepper fan. He grew those, and I was like, "Can you send me some?" So of course, I paid him to send me a box of them. And I did a video where I was very carefully eating it because I had never had one before. And it was delicious. I felt like a sissy afterwards because I like hot stuff, but I was kind of expecting more like burn your face off heat. But this was kind of like, I wouldn't say citrusy, but more of a fruity spice. And it was really, really good.
You know, if you dehydrate those hot peppers, it makes a world of difference the way you could cook, because they all, it's amazing. When people think of hot peppers, they don't think of a fruity flavor. And
I I ferment those and make a salsa with it. I've got one of the recipes on my website, and it was amazing. It really was.
Okay, now we're on tomatoes.
When people think about heirloom seeds, that's the first thing they ask me is tomatoes. Oh, like heirloom tomatoes, because that's like a really common thing. And of course, everybody knows that a good heirloom tomato is just, there's nothing like it.
Now, last year I was getting my garden ready. My plan last year was to grow 300 different types of tomatoes. Had everything outside, all ready to go, and I tore my Achilles tendon.
Oh no!
It killed my whole season. I'm still cleaning up the mess from last year.
Oh no!
Oh, it was a disaster. Now, some of your favorites.
Cherokee purple, hands down. I have to grow it every year. It is delicious. It is, some people say it's sweet. I don't see it as sweet as some of the other varieties that I have grown. Say, for example, if you put it against a yellow pear, which is my favorite small tomato, a yellow pear is so sweet. I eat it like candy out of the garden. But if I had to choose, somebody asked me that if you had to choose just one to grow, and I just said I can't answer that question because there's no way I could only grow one variety. But definitely the Cherokee purple, definitely the yellow pear, the yellow brandywine's a really good one as well. And then something fun would be the emerald green. Now
I'm at the yellow pear right now. Just let me stop for a second. The yellow pear, I tell you what, when you grow these guys, there's so many tomatoes pop on the plant. It's so abundant. Right? You get tremendous results with it. Yeah.
And not only that, but if you drop seeds and you have these volunteers, now you have hundreds of potentially free tomatoes. So I had a giant bowl just from one of my volunteers. So they are prolific.
Two of my favorite right here is vintage wine and Tigerella. I love the taste of that.
They are good.
Love the taste.
And they're fancy.
Yes.
You know, you go to the grocery store and you got like two options. You know, you've got a red slicer and a red paste. But when you grow them in your garden, you've got so many different options available.
It's our bling to the garden. Now, the difference between a red pear tomato and a yellow pear tomato. Can you tell everybody the difference with that?
That yellow is sweeter. It has the red has a typical red tomato flavor, but that yellow is just it adds so much sweetness to something. That's what I used in my fermented salsa was the yellow pears, because I kind of wanted to keep the yellow look, the yellow color of my salsa, and it was just fantastic.
And for the people that have like acid reflux issues, go more to a yellow tomato.
Yep.
It helps you out a little bit more. So.
Yep. And I think the Ace 55, if I'm not mistaken, might have a little lower acid content as well.
Let's go to the German green that you mentioned. Oh, green zebra.
The green zebra too. That just adds a lot of color. If you're making something, you know, with fresh tomatoes, it's really going to add a lot of color.
Okay. So now is the time to add. It's already 8 o'clock. Is it okay? You go a little bit longer? Are you okay?
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm out in the garden. It'll be dark in a couple minutes, but I'll be here.
It's a great view. If you have any questions, it's time for me to put my glasses on because I can't see anymore. And Mary be happy to answer them. So thank you everyone for coming. I really appreciate it. And again, Mary, thank you so much for coming on.
Sure. Thanks for asking.
Yellow doesn't have the acid. I use it in my fresh Mexican dip. Yeah, when it comes to a chat, I totally can't. There's too many people. It goes by too fast.
Sure.
You got Life in Your Entangled. She misters her tomatoes. Oh, she has health issues, and she can't eat. She has to do everything by. Yeah, it stinks. I can't even imagine not eating a tomato every day.
Yeah.
Or eating a tomato at all. So if you have any questions, make sure they're in caps. Lazy days ahead because they live in Texas. Does Mary have a shop in Canton, Texas?
I do not have a location at this time for people to shop, but I do have a couple options for people. I just recently offered pickup in Ben Wheeler. So if you contact me ahead of time, we can arrange a time for pickup. But I also offer free shipping, which is pretty cool. Even if you're in Canton and I'm in Ben Wheeler, if it's on my website as well, but if it's $20 or more, if it's heirloom seeds only in the US, you're going to get free shipping. So that's another option for you.
Derek Oxley says, are there any okras that grow well in northern climates?
Absolutely. Just about all of them should be able to grow if you have enough warm time. Most of them are about 65 to 70 days from seed. So if you start them directly in your garden, you have 70 days, that would be a good one. Would be Clemson Spineless is probably the easiest and fastest maturing, even sooner than those 70 days. So I definitely check out the Clemson Spineless.
This is pretty. This is Juliana Jujubi. Green seed is my favorite green. Mary passes the vibe check.
I passed the vibe check.
Let me see. We got what growing zone is Mary in?
I'm in zone 8. I am in East Texas, specifically Ben Wheeler, Texas.
Oh, here we go. Bushcraft family. Well, this is a great question. What will you never grow again?
Okay, so I've had that question asked, and there's very little that I will never grow. And really the only thing I would say that I will never grow is butternut squash. And the only reason is because I'm the only one that grows it. Or I'm sorry, I'm the only one that eats it. So when I started making something in the house with butternut squash, my husband walks in the door and he's like, "Is that butternut?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Call me when you're done." And he got back on his motorcycle and he went for a ride. So I'll do a butternut that's maybe a smaller size in the future, but that's pretty much the only thing. I love everything.
That's great. I don't see anything else in the chat. So Mary, you know what? I hope you could come on sometime in the future again.
Sure.
This was an awesome interview. This was great. I was so happy that you came on. I'm
glad I made it, considering I had a little bit of technical difficulties on my end getting started. If you've seen any of my YouTube videos, I am not technologically savvy like some people are. So I'm more of like the dig in the dirt person than I am like the tech person. So I'm glad I made it.
So I have a friend that just came on. His name's Fred. and he's in a joking manner. "Joe, my marijuana plants are dying. Help."
That, unfortunately, I don't have experience with, but I do generally have some. You're not the first person to ask. So I have sent people links to different things that they can find more information, but that I don't have experience with, even though I lived in California.
It's funny because people tell me all the time, I don't do marijuana. I never even tried it. And people are like, "Hey, can you grow this?"
Yeah, I mean, and I get asked for seeds on a regular basis, and no, I don't. But it's still growing something. So the general principles still apply. If your leaves are yellowing or if your leaves are browning, sometimes you've got a nutrient problem. If you've got white stuff on your leaves, generally you've got a disease problem. So it's kind of the same.
Well, that was so awesome. So Mary, thank you so much for coming on. I could talk to you forever. It's really
You've got other people you got to chat with too. I understand.
It was such a pleasure. So
all right.
We'll talk to each other soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. You want me to hit that button?
I got it.
Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye, Mary's Heirloom Seeds, guys. Go check out the site. It's just, you know what? Her site just doesn't sell seeds. It's all that information that we talked about. Each zone is right there. So go check out the page. You will learn a lot. I know I printed out all the sections for the zones and what you could grow and all the information she had there. So go check it out, guys. I'm telling you, you go buy her seeds. And she's also donating some of her seeds today, which is pretty awesome. So it's going to be it's a set of 5 seeds. I have written it somewhere. So where do I have it? It's a simple starter seed combo. So we're gonna give away 5 of those packs, which is totally awesome. And all you're gonna do is email me, and I'll email her, and we'll work everything out. And I'm telling you, these seeds are so awesome, and germination rate that's what you want. You want germination rate. You could buy a seed. If you want to buy a Cherokee Purple seed's Cherokee Purple seed, no matter where you buy it. But you want the germination rates, which is important. So check out those seeds. Okay, so let me get going. So welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Just like every single chat, I have a hard time following the chat when I do these interviews. So let me see. What? I was just trying to do something. I've never seen that before. Anyway, we have 3 interviews today, all lined up. Let me see what we got. At 8:15, we have Bacon Leg and Let's Dig It. 8:30, Idaho Garden Girls coming on. 8:45, Bushcraft Family's coming on. So that is the three interviews. Well, it's not really an interview. It's like, hey, how you doing? What are you growing? What's going on? What's going on your page? So that's what we're going to talk about with those 3 YouTube channels. And but right away, let's get right down to it. It's 8:07. Let's get to the wheel. We got some great prizes if I find them. I know they're in bags all over the place. We got a lot of ice cream yarn today. Let's give away. First thing we're going to give away is 2 of these. Look, this is awesome. So this is a big cake, and that is the color. We're giving away 2 of those. Then we're going to give you a lasagna gardening book. And then let's go right to the hot sauce. This is today's hot sauce from Pucker Butt, and this is Chipotle Express. And then we're going to give away 2 of those packs of seeds from Mary's Heirloom Seeds. So let me write this all down before I screw it up, which I always do. It's sooner or later it gets to you, right? So let me see. Big cake. So purple big cake's the first gift. Lasagna gardening book. Then hot sauce. And we're going to give away 2 of Mary's seeds. I hope you guys really enjoyed the interview. Mary's a very kind-hearted woman, and when you've been gardening for all your life and you know so much, give, and that's what she totally does, right? She gives to the community, and she gives to everybody else she's around. So just make sure you guys check out those pages. Okay, so let's get to the wheel. I'm going to shuffle. I better not forget in 5 seconds. Okay, let's see. Where are you? There it is. So we're going to shuffle. So become a member really helps out the channel. Any super chats, super stickers is greatly appreciated. It keeps this program running. Every little thing extremely helps right now. So, okay. So here we go. Big cake. Get 2 of these. Winner gets 2. Good luck, everyone. Good luck. To be the first winner of the night. Where to begin? Ready to begin homestead. Congratulations. You won yourself some yarn, a big cake of yarn. So congratulations, Where to Begin Homestead. If you guys win, make sure it's all caps so I can see it a little easier and all the mods can help it. Thank you for all the mods, by the way. You make this program, you keep it strong. Because if it wasn't for you guys, that would be totally lost right now. So congratulations. Where to begin homesteading, winning the yarn. Okay, next gift is the lasagna gardening book. Lasagna gardening book. Where to begin? Thank you. Whoop, whoop. Where to begin homesteads in the chat. She claims your prize. Now it's lasagna gardening. Lasagna gardening. Give me some lasagna. 2%. Congratulations, 2%. 2% is here. And she said lasagna. Yeah, lasagna. Lasagna. 1 second. Wow, that chat just went flying. Whoop. I know Bushcraft said, remember when you first started doing your giveaways? When you first, yeah. My giveaways were a lot smaller, guys. A lot smaller. So congratulations, 2%. Not me, Joe. No, so 2%. You want seeds or you want to pick somebody from the chat? What would you like to do? 2%. Not me, Joe. Hooray, me. No. Okay, so 2%. Give it away. Okay, so 2%. We got to give it away. So, well, I don't want to do another wheel. 2%. Give to chat. Okay. Okay, so 2% is going to pick somebody out in the chat, guys. 2% is going to pick somebody in the chat. Who is 2% going to pick? If you want the book, Lasagna Gardening, say something in the chat, and 2% is going to pick you out. 2% is going to pick you out. Let's go. If you want the book, say something in the chat that she's going to say, hey, you know what? That person deserves the book. That person deserves the book. So, Juby, she is the first person I saw. So, congratulations, Juby. So, Juby, you won the lasagna gardening book. Okay, hot sauce time. Hot sauce. Good luck. Good luck. Okay, Deborah is not here. And Deborah's been a member for a long time. So we're going to give it away. Give it away now. And if Deborah, you're here listening, you won. But you're going to buy another. Congratulations. Oh, look at those hearts flying around. I love those hearts. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Another classic hooker butt. Camper 14. So congratulations to Camper 14. You won yourself some hot sauce. Camper 14, do you want the hot sauce? Do you want to give someone else or do you want seeds? Let us know, Camper 14. Congratulations. There we go. I'm here. Thank you. So congratulations, Camper 14. Okay, 2 things of Mary's Heirloom seeds. And then we're going to go to our next guest, which should be Bacon Leg and Let's Dig It. So here we are. Congratulations. That was congratulations to Camper 14. Let me shuffle. Winner must email me. Make sure you put Mary's seeds in the description. There we go. Thank you all mods. Thank you. 91 people in the chat. If you missed the interview, please go check it out. It's about on time. We're about 30 seconds late right now. That is Cindy. Why does Cindy always win seeds? So let us know, Life in Your Entangled, if you want to pick somebody out. Do you want the seeds? Let us know what you want to do, Life in Your Entangled. Okay, last one. We got to start our interview. So congratulations, Life in Yarn Tangled, on winning the seed package, which is 5 sets of seeds from Mary's Heirloom Seed. That's awesome. Yarn again. Yarn again. So congratulations to Yarn again. You won yourself a Mary's Heirloom Seed package, which is a set of 5 seeds, which is awesome. So congratulations to Yarn again. So I'm looking at them in the chat. Yarn again. Wow, thank you. So I'm looking for Bacon Leg, Let's Stick It. And let me hold on, guys. Let me see if she has. She should be in the chat right now in my link. Let me hold on. I got to do a couple things, guys. Hold on. Hold on, hold on. Let me see what's in my chat. I was there with it, and our Mr. Joe have to run, take a shower for live tonight. Okay, Mary, hold on. Whoops. So Bacon Leg and Let's Stick It was in the chat, and I might have gave her the wrong time. I have no idea how I did that, but she was in here in the chat for an hour, and of course I do my interview because we do the first hour as the interview, then the next set of 3. So, whoops. Okay, so Life in Yarn Tangled said give it a Passamaquoddy. So Passamaquoddy. And Yarn Again was our other winner. And I don't have the Yarn Again right now. So, you know what? Idaho Garden Girl is coming on right now. So maybe we could cut to her right now instead. So, Idaho Garden Girl, give me a wave if you're okay to go on right now. Give me like a, hey, I'm here. You good to go? Okay. I think that's a wave because it's a little dark there. Anyway, I apologize for Bacon Leg and Let's Dig It because she was supposed to come on and she was here, but I guess I gave the wrong time. Yarn Again. Okay. Yarn Again said yes. Okay. So all the winners, we got 5 winners all crossed off, all good to go. And now we're going to welcome Idaho Garden Girl to the channel. So there's Idaho Garden Girl. Hello. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
Oh, you know, every time I have somebody come on and we don't do any testing, I'm like, please no echo, please no echo. And you sound great. You sound good.
Oh, good.
So we're talking about all the heat with Mary. Well, now we're going to talk about a little more frigid area. What kind of weather do you have going on in Idaho right now?
Well, right now, I think that we're having temperatures in the 40s, but on Wednesday, it's supposed to be back down in the 30s again. So it's pretty cold. And it's very, very windy. I can't put anything out in this cold, and also the wind. When I first tried to garden at this location, I tried to put my tomatoes out before May, and the wind just blew them all over. And I stacked up cinder blocks to protect them, but it just blew the cinder blocks over.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, is it always windy during the summer too? Is it just a windy the way you live? It's like
it's mostly windy. It's mostly windy in the fall and winter and spring. In the summer, we still do get some wind and some breezes, but not like I mean, there's always the freak windstorm, but usually it's not too bad during the summer.
Wow. You know what? Now, how many dwarf tomatoes did you grow last year?
Oh, varieties
Yes.
or
Yeah, varieties.
okay,
Varieties.
probably probably I don't know, 20.
That's awesome. Now, did you find have a hard time with any germination rates with this?
No, no,
Okay.
they all came up well. The seeds that I had red robin
Mhm.
because I had grown that one before, and the seed source from that was Baker Creek. I don't think they offer it anymore, but that
Mhm.
was where I got the seeds, and I think that's an excellent dwarf tomato. But all the other dwarf tomatoes I got from you, Joe, on the uh, on the wheel of seeds,
Hey, Bunny
and
Hop.
yeah, and so yeah, they're from Bunny Hop, and is that the only one? I can't remember,
Heritage
but
seed. Heritage,
yeah,
heritage seeds.
right. So they all grew well. And I was so interested to see what the difference was between the different varieties. I'm always interested in that. I always want to know, well, what makes this one so good versus this one. And so, but then I got the idea to put them in the green stock, that tower planter, put them in that green stock. And so I
Hmm.
made like the top ring was two different varieties. And then the next tier was a different variety, and the next tier, and the next tier, and the next tier. And so it really turned out well. I think I'm going to do two different green stalks that way this year.
Now, was it all the same variety or all different varieties around that green
No,
stock?
no, each tier had a different variety.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's a good looking Christmas tree.
yeah. Yeah, I really liked it, and it gave me an idea because every single variety, they say, oh, it tastes really good. It produces well. Or, you read all the descriptions, and you're like, oh, I'm going to grow that one. Oh, I'm going to grow that one. So I want to find out which one really is the best. So,
Well, what is your favorite so far besides the red robin?
well, I do like Red Robin. I also like Monetka.
Okay.
It's spelled Monetka, and it has the yellow little tiny tomatoes, and they're yellow. And it also is a micro dwarf, which means
Hmm.
it only gets to be between 8 and 12 inches tall. I mean, it's only going to be about this tall, and then it just loads up. It just loads up with tomatoes.
I'm fascinated. It's just such a fascination project they started when they started this whole thing.
It is. And
And
I
it's
learned that there's a difference between dwarf tomatoes and micro dwarf tomatoes. I
mhm.
mean, I originally just thought, oh, dwarf tomato, it's just all the same thing, but it's not. The micro dwarf tomatoes are the ones that you can grow in like a 1 gallon pot.
Mhm.
And they still load up with tomatoes. It's amazing.
And what is my last question is what is your plans? I'm sorry we only go 5 minutes, but I wanted to have you on so much for a long time. And I'm like, I got to get you on. Just like I had Bacon Leg, I was thinking, I haven't had her on. I got to get her on. And Bushcraft Family, I got to get him on. And I'm like, I can
Right.
spend like hours with each guest. I really can. And I absolutely love your garden. When I seen it last year, I'm like, wow, this is absolutely amazing. How
Well,
often,
thank you.
how long do you spend on your garden each day?
Um, it just depends. Some days it's only like half an hour, and other days it just depends on, what I have going on. I might like when I get ready to plant my tomatoes out in the raised beds, it's going to take me all day long, I have a feeling, because I'm going to probably plant somewhere around 20 different varieties. I don't grow as many as you do, Joe, but I do grow quite a few for me, and it takes me all day long just to do that. So, it just depends on what I'm doing at the moment.
The first time I seen your first tour, I was like, this is a great site. I say it with Fox and Outdoors too. Nobody goes to his site. Nobody follows as many as as should go. And the guy's grown in abundance. I look at your garden and I watch these tours and I'm like, man, you know what? You have a love, a passion, and you're grown for yourself, and it's what better way to that? You don't have to go to the store.
Right.
Just go grab your tomato, grab this, grab what you can, and
Right.
I really
Well,
admire
thank you.
everything you do. I
Thank
really
you.
do.
Thank you very much.
And so what's the last thing is what's your plans for this year in a garden? Like what's I know nothing's growing out there right now, but what is your total plan?
Well, my total plan, like every year, is to grow as much of my own food as possible.
Mhm.
And every year I try to figure out the varieties that taste the best, that grow the best in my area, that produce the most food. And because I want to select for those varieties to grow in my area. So um, I'm going to grow a lot more potatoes this year.
Mhm.
I'm still going to grow a lot of peppers. I'm going to grow a lot of tomatoes. I'm going to grow a lot of winter squash. I grew a bunch of winter squash last year. I think I grew I don't know, like 18 varieties or something like that of winter squash.
That's amazing.
And and they were growing out all over the lawn, and so the thing that is important to me is how long will they last? How long will those winter squash last after I harvest them in the fall? Will they
Mhm.
make it to spring? How long do they last? Because I don't want to plant something that if I put it away to save it, I don't want it to just rot within a month. I want to be able to eat it all winter and all spring.
That is so awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on and let everybody know about your channel. So go check out Idaho Garden Girl. And I love that you support so many other channels. I see you online all the time. So it's like, there's Idaho Garden Girl. I
Well,
absolutely
thank
love
you.
it.
Thank
And
you
thank
very
you
much,
for,
Joe.
and thank you. I appreciate it so much. All right. Take care. And I hope we'll talk soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So that was Idaho Garden Girl, and Bushcraft Family is next. But we're going to go around and give some yarn out. So we're going to give out some ice cream yarns. We're going to give out two of the same color. So first two winners have this, and then we got three winners of Heirloom, Mary's Heirloom seeds, and then we're going to have Bushcraft Family on next. So let me just write this down. Ice cream, ice cream. Okay, so it's ice cream, Mary, Mary, Mary. And then we got Bushcraft Family. So, all right, guys, let me get down to the wheel. I will make sure I shuffle. There we are. There's a shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I really appreciate it. And thank you for all the questions. We got a lot of great stuff coming, a lot of great interviews coming up. And this channel is really exploding, and it's because of you guys sharing all the information out and all the support. Okay, ice cream yarn. Big scoop. Big scoop. Andy wants people in the chat. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Go check out Idaho Garden Girl. Deborah. So, Deborah, you want some ice cream yarn? So let us know if you want the ice cream yarn. Let's. Whoop! I just thought I seen something. Whoops! I thought somebody said something that was not a good word, but I just read it wrong. There's the Stock Explorer. Yeah, Stock Explorer. What a great person Idaho Garden Girl is. She has so much to show in her garden. It's quite a blessing. Okay, So I don't see Deborah, 2%, not me. So Deborah's going to pick out somebody in the chat. So let's do that first before I go to next. Deborah Richardson. Oh, no. Resignio. Whoops. Did I just screw that up? I don't know. Resignolo. Hold on. Did I screw that up? I probably screwed it up. Deborah Richardson, 2%. Not me, but it was Deborah. I don't see Deborah in the chat. Run a show. We'll keep you in line. I really need to keep in line. Okay, let's go. Next big scoop winner. Not Deb Richardson. That's right, Tag. That's right. Everybody says Deborah Richardson could have said, hey, I changed my name. Yep. That's it, Jesse. And I don't see MT Homestead. I don't see MT Homestead here, but if you are here, let us know if you're lurking. And Pamela wants some ice cream. Okay, so here we go. Next three winner is Mary's Heirloom Seeds. We're going to have Bushcraft Family on there. Ice cream. Congratulations to Homestead if you are here. Passamaquoddy. So congratulations. You won yourself Mary's Heirloom Seeds. So let us know if you want the seeds. Next winner. Yes, please. Whoop, whoop. Please email me your info. Gare Gryden 19. Gotta love Gare Gryden. I tell you what, Gare Gryden was singing on Courtney's channel the other day. Absolutely love Gare singing. It's something I never thought it was ever going to happen, but Gare did it. And you got to have a little muscle behind your brain to actually sing when you never sang before. And I love the Gare. If you're still here, congratulations to Gare Gryden 19. Let's go to Mary Seed. We only got 5 minutes to go here. 21 people in the chat. I wonder if we're going to break 100 tonight. We should be right around 150 people. Thank you guys for sharing it out. Lithalia's little hook with Melanie. Now, Melanie was supposed to come on our show today, but she got family coming over, and family is always first. So I don't think Melanie's going to be listening. I hope she isn't listening, because every precious moment you spend time with your family, and if you could do it, you do it, especially if they're out of town. So congratulations to Melanie if you are listening. You know, you could have had your whole family listen to my show too. Just joking. So congratulations to Melanie. Okay, I don't see anything. But you could, if you're in a chat and you say something before I come on or start the next episode with after the interview, then you can still win. So let me stop this. There we are. So here comes Bushcraft Family. This is awesome. There he is.
Hello.
How you doing?
Not too bad.
I love the flag right behind you. I love your backgrounds. I love everything you do. And just let everybody know, when I first started my channel, it was a mess. I had no icons, and Charles helped me. And I mean, wow. I really appreciate you. Were one of my first members of my channel.
Yeah.
You and MT Homestead were like one of the first members of my channel. And I appreciate all the help you did for everything. I really do. And thank you for sharing everything you've been doing on your channel. That takes a lot of guts to do that. And you have a story, like you said, you have a story to tell for your kids and
Yeah.
everything. And
That's the new podcast thing that they came out with. So I figured that'd be a good way to tell a story.
well, that's quite a story. I mean, it's the story that you don't want to be part of.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And I'm so sorry, but thank you for sharing that. And I'm so sorry. So if you have a chance, guys, check out the Bushcraft Family. Check out his episodes. It's a lot of stuff with market reviews. Now, the market reviews, you don't find the information anywhere. Everything you say in those market reviews is like, oh, I never knew that, because it's not in the paper. It's not around.
It comes from the market that the retailers buy from. Oh. So when they get it and they say, well, there's going to be a shortage on this, you might not see it for a month, and then all of a sudden, oh, I wonder why there's no tomatoes at the grocery store, or ketchup is double the price now. It's because there was a shortage and nobody knew about it.
How many times did you get this information and say, you got to be freaking kidding me? You know, I mean, geez.
Yeah. Some of them are that, and the recalls are the ones that it's really surprising me lately, with the listeria and stuff for like lettuce and stuff. And lettuce is so easy to grow at home.
Now, what's the problem with it? Is it because of the lack of workers? What's going on with our
listeria? Listeria means that whatever they get from the water treatment places, mm-hmm. they didn't do a good enough job there. So there's actual poopies in the water. So, and then they spray their fields and whatnot, and because it's fertilizer. And they spray the fields, and then they grow and find out, it's making people sick.
Well, nothing like having a couple hundred people, pooping in their pants somewhere. I can't even imagine. Hey, even I Love to Crochet says poops.
Yeah.
I still comes down to lack of workers with everything. Everybody's rushing. Nobody's qualified. They're just putting anybody and just throwing them out there. Here you go, bag of lettuce. But they don't really care. They're told they have to do so much work in a short period of time, and they're just throwing it around.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely, and everything's by machines today too. A lot of things by machine. Now, tell us about the cow situation. That one where they all got burned down. Do you know anything else on it?
That's a mysterious thing this mushroom cloud was seen miles and miles away. 18,000 cows in one place mysteriously blew up. And it's a dairy farm. So all it has is stainless steel machines that do all the pumping and whatnot, and they have a thing outside to where it stores the milk, and you have cows. It's odd thing. It's one of those things like planes crashing into our food production places, and that's the norm now.
And do you know how many egg places or distributors, that got burned down? Do you know anything on that? Any information?
There were 4. The last one. Well, it's always happening, but the big one was 4 different barns that they have the eggs or the layers in. They burned up. Again, one of the mysterious things. All 4 of them decided to catch fire. Says it was electrical issues, but
it's just way too many. I can't there's so many crazy. If you had one here or one there, even every couple of years, it's like 19, 45, 30, whatever kind of amount. It's like, come on.
Yeah, no, in the one year from 2020 to 2021, there was over 100 of these mysterious places that food places that caught fire or whatever the case may be. I forgot to turn that off. Thank you for subscribing. There was over 100 of them, and finally everybody just stopped counting. And it's just like it's just like a normal thing. It's like, oh, food place, okay. What else is in the news? you know?
And it's what could you believe or not believe? You know?
Yeah, and it's sad that it's becoming a normal thing.
You know, all this information used to be in the Sun magazine, you know, one tabloid that with the aliens all over the place. And, you know, I got pregnant by an alien, you know, all kind of stupid stuff. Now,
I'm starting to sit there, and when I was in the grocery store the other day, I was sitting there looking at it and like, oh, I wonder if they know what's coming up next.
Maybe it is the aliens that's doing all this work.
Who knows?
Who knows? I appreciate all the content you do on your channel. There's so much great content that you can't find anywhere on YouTube, and I appreciate every little part of it. Now, how much prepping do you do, like at home? Like, how close is from your house to a grocery store? Are you like a couple miles away, or you're like a mile away?
Just a few. Like I said, unfortunately, I live in the city, so it's not a big city, but it's big enough. We used to have more stores, but Walmart came in and pretty much dominated everything. We have Bueller's, but they're overpriced. So I do shop there, but I do it in, you know, whenever they have a sale or something. Like right now they have ground beef for $2.99 a pound. So I went and I go and get a bunch of it and can it up. Because that $2.99, you're not going to find that much anymore.
And so you in the city, what kind of do you live in a little house? Do you live in a
house?
So what kind of vegetables are you growing this year?
Well, the normal. I always since the last 3 years, I first started growing purple Cherokee tomatoes, and I love those. So I always grow those. Last year, I grew pineapple tomatoes, and those were really close to being my favorite. Unfortunately, I had a tree fall down on my garden and pretty much ruined my gardening for last year.
Now, did you like taste a big difference in that type, like the acid levels in the yellow?
Yeah, the acid was hardly any in the purple, or I mean the pineapple one. And like I grew a lot of stuff that had pineapple in it. I don't know why. It just I kind of pick a theme and go with it. And last year was pineapple. I had pineapple sage and pineapple bell peppers and a few other different things. Pineapple mint, which I'm not a big mint fan, but that was actually pretty good because I had it in a tea and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I grew that last year too. That was like, wow, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, they have all these mints are coming out in totally different kind of mint flavors. Orange mint, you know.
Yeah.
Where they come, I'm actually really fascinated by them.
Yeah, and this year, I'm trying like something I can get a use out of instead of just a normal thing like a flower. I've got this. I can't remember the name of it, but it's an elephant amethyst, I think it is. You can actually the seeds from it you can grind into flour, and you can actually eat it as like a rice. So I'm going to try to grow in that, and also some kind of a sweet potato from the Philippines. And there's no way I'm pronouncing what it is, but it grows extremely large in a small area. and you can also grind that into a flour, so you can bake it, make bread from it.
I just seen Gail post this. She's doing a Bless My Garden collab. And so if you guys want to check out Gail Southern Living, she's doing several, she's doing a container gardening too, collab. And so if you guys should check that out with Gail's Southern Living. Okay, let me take that off. There we go. So what else do you have anything else planned for your channel? It's something new that you're working on? Or do you want to, you can continue doing what you've been doing? Like, what is the future hold for Bushcraft Family?
Yeah, pretty much. Like the shorts I've been doing, you might be a prepper if, like the old, you might be a redneck if.
There we go. We're back. We got frozen for a couple seconds.
Oh, I do a short that's instead of
a lot of frozen going on.
You might be a redneck if, but I switched it around and says you might be a prepper if. So you might be a prepper if you store water or whatnot, or you, instead of throwing jugs away, you fill them up with water, things like that.
Well, thank you. Charles, I feel like I could talk to you for a long time, just like all our guests. These 5-minute things, I got to make it maybe to 10, because those 5 minutes will never work. And 10 minutes, I don't think will work either. But thank you for coming on. And guys, check out Bushcraft Family. And I mean, there's so much great information on this channel. The information will like get you thinking about what's really going in society today. And, And that's my main point is there's news. We got news right here, right there in the channel, right in front of you. Get the real news from Bushcraft Family. So thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. And I hope to talk to you very soon and do this for a longer version, definitely. So thank you for all your support too. What's funny, when you talked about before, remember when you did those, when you first started those seed packets and stuff too?
Yeah, I remember when there's like maybe 20 people on the wheel.
Yeah.
And the same people would win over and over again.
Yeah, except for Simply Jan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, except for
Simply Jan never won. Well, you know what? Thank you for making my channel as good, where it is right now. Because if it wasn't for people like you, I probably would have quit back in the day. So you
do a good service.
Thank you so much. And I hope to talk to you again soon, Charles. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Take care. So that was Bushcraft Family. I had the hardest time getting people off. I have no idea what to say. And I bet you guys could tell that right away. There's you two police. So thank you everyone for coming on. I apologize to Big Lake Let's Dig It. I have no idea if it was my fault, her fault, or whoever's fault, but she was supposed to come on today and she was here in the beginning. And I got to read my notes. I hope it wasn't me, because if it is, I feel so bad. But Baker Leg Let's Dig It has her live at 9 o'clock tonight. And you have Wide Family Farm. They are on at 10 o'clock tonight, not at 11. So check out those channels tonight. Let's give away, let me see where we're at for prizes. So the last time around, I only got past Quody, and he won. They won Mary Seeds. So the ice cream yarns are back, and that's what we're going to be up to right now. So let me get the. Looks like I'm going to be giving these out next week too. All right, let me see what's in here. Oh, well, now that's the one winner for yarn. Where are you, yarn? So it's ice cream yarn. So we got one, we got another, and how many Mary Seeds we gave out? Make that 3. So 3 things of big scoop ice cream. And I got to give one out from last week still too. or maybe a couple of weeks ago. There was some kind of screw up somewhere, and I got to make sure this yarn is out. So 3 things of ice cream yarn, then 2 things of Mary seeds, and it's already 9 o'clock. Just 95 people in the chat, which is amazing. Thank you guys for all coming today. Now I lost my pen. I'm all over the place. It's those strawberry roll I was doing. Anyway, check out my other videos. Thank you guys for all the support. Hey, we got 97 people in the chat, 3 away from 100. Please like, share, and subscribe. 98. Oh, we're going to break 100. Let's see who the winners are going to be. Let's go. Let's go. Bring up the energy. Okay, energy's gone. Okay, here we go. So Mary's Heirloom Seeds. We had some great guests tonight, guys. I hope you really appreciate all the information they give. Hey, there's Anvita. Hi, Anvita. Okay, here we go. Yarn, ice cream yarn. I'm an HVAC, really amazing. My family garden. Big and proud, get outdoor. Dirk Oxley. Extreme garden. Develop. Please. Who's going to be the winner of the ice cream yarn? It is Mrs. Lazy Days Ahead. Because, it's never Jessie. It's always Lisa. So congratulations. Look at those hearts and smiley faces. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I love that on the phone. That is awesome. Congratulations to Mrs. Lazy Days Ahead, which is Lisa. And if you guys aren't following them, you guys are really missing out. There we go. See, Jessie never wins. Jessie never wins. It's always Lisa. It's always Lisa. So congratulations to Lisa on winning ice cream yarn. But let me see. She said yes, please, and thank you. Whoop, whoop. So congratulations to Lisa. Oh my God. Congratulations to Lazy Days Ahead. Mrs. Lazy Days Ahead. Okay. Ice cream again! Ice cream again! Ice cream for ice cream! Oh my God! Oh my God! Well, if you don't win once, you win twice, Jessie. So congratulations to Lisa and Mrs. Lazy Ahead. Whoop, whoop. It's fixed. This helps me with postage. This definitely helps me with postage. Oh, now I shuffle. Yeah. That's the bonus. Bonus. I'm shuffling 2%. I'm shuffling. Okay. Another thing of yarn. Well, congratulations to Lisa. There is Fox Outdoors. Yeah, definitely rigged. Bushes are expensive these days. I love Cliff. Handicap Traveler. Handicap Traveler, congratulations. I love Handicap Traveler. What a great guy. What a great family. Definitely one of the greatest supporters on YouTube. He's always there following. So hopefully he's following me right now. Congratulations to Handicap Traveler. I love when I make him sing rap. And dance too. Anyway, I could imagine him when he was younger doing all that stuff too. So congratulations to Handicap Traveler. Okay, Mary's Heirloom Seeds. Let me see. I want to make sure I don't give out too many. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we got 2 winners. I haven't won anything on months here. Joe, you sure my name is on the wheel? Kelly, your name is definitely on the wheel. Your name is definitely on the wheel. All you got to do is if you comment in the registration video and you have that like and the heart hit, you're definitely on the wheel. You're cracking me up. Oh, blame me. I need to crack up. I already cracked up years ago. Tell you the truth. Tell you the truth, 2%. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. Mary seeds. Oh, Kelly. You're not teasing. Yep, true. Bailey. Bailey, you want some seeds? I feel so sorry for Bailey. Now, why do you say that? What do I feel sorry? Why do I feel sorry for Bailey? She didn't have electricity for like a week, and she was frozen. I think she's still frozen, or thawing out because it. You know, I can't imagine being in Canada and not having electricity. I feel like crap when it happens in New Jersey, but Canada is a total different level not to have electricity. So I don't know if Bailey's even here. Hey, there's Charles, fallen Arkansas veteran. There's Kimmy. 91 people still in the chat. Okay, so Mary Heirloom seeds. I don't think Bailey's here. It was 8 degrees in her apartment. No freaking way. Oh, we got to get back to that. Hey, Mary's here. Beth D. Let me close this up. Congratulations to Beth D. Ooh, there I am. Wow, the computer's really getting slow. That's crazy. Congratulations to Beth D. So Bailey's temperature in her house was 8 degrees. Oh, I didn't know that part. Oh, now I got to send her some hot sauce or something. Oh my God, 8 degrees. I mean, what do you do in 8 degrees? What do you do? Oh my God. Lately I've been when I've been listening to YouTube, I've been so crazy at work because my work's like this long and everything is so 9 days. How does she? Wow, that's crazy. Thank God she crochets layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of stuff. Oh my God. I guess you can't take a shower anywhere with that. You just might as well just keep on piling on together. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, more than just blankets. Oh my God. I don't see a Beth D. I don't see a Beth D. Juju takes to the vet. Thank God thank God she's okay. Oh no. Oh no. Hot water bottles under the blankets. I tell you what, I think she needs more than hot water, I think. You know what's amazing when you go in those shows where they start a fire and, you know, where they get snow, when they get snowed out, so they got to make their own, like, igloo or space and something like that. Well, maybe they could become an igloo. I mean, I don't know. And all of a sudden, you just get, they start a fire and then it gets tampered down for a little bit, and then all of a sudden they sleep on top of it, and then you get them all snow on top, and like how people survive is freaking amazing. She needs hot sauce and seeds, Joe. I think she needs a lot. I think she needs a lot more than that. Jeez. Okay, so there's still 97 people in the chat, and it is almost 9. So let's get back to the wheel one more time around. Let's do this all over again. So we got 2 things of Big Scoop, and then we got a thing of Mary's Heirloom seeds because our handicapped traveler is not here. Well, I'm really screwing this up. Okay, let me write this down. Ice cream with ice. Lazy Days ahead. Hold on, guys. Stay with me. Just to be sure, let me give one thing of ice cream yarn out. So it's going to be ice cream yarn, Mary seeds, and then other seeds. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Oh my God. I hope you guys like my video I made on a spot, 6:30 at night on yesterday. I'm like, oh, I got to do a video. Oh no. Well, I'm already here Ubering. I haven't never Ubered this much during a week before. I really needed the money. And now I got to find out what my taxes are because I'm going to owe money because I Uber because they don't take the taxes out at the time. So I could owe $4,000. My account is zero. So that's how much money I have in the bank. I got zero in the bank. And I get a 4,000 bill any second. That means more Ubering. Okay, enough of me. Who cares? Okay, ice cream yarn, heirloom seeds. Oh, shuffle. Hey, Mark the Spider Guy, welcome in. Good to see you, Mark. Good to see you. There's Wickershire. Rambling. I haven't seen Scott. I don't know if he's lurking. But hi, Scott. How you doing, my Canadian brother? You won yourself some yarn. Okay, Mary's Heirloom Seeds. And I can't wait to go on that cruise. It'll be so exciting going on that cruise. Random. They're not here. Blind guy, his wife, their life. They've been a member of this channel for so long, just to support me because of what I'm about. That's what as they say, and I appreciate all the support. Mary's Home Seeds again. We're here. Let us know. I'm sure lurking like I lurk on your channel. Great information on your channel. Good. All set up, guys. All set up. That was for Mary's Heirloom Seeds. All set up. It's their night. And you know what? To tell you the truth, guys, they deserve it. They totally deserve it. And definitely, well, it's not save on shipping because it's getting shipped from Texas. But that is freaking awesome. Right, Farm and HVAC? That is freaking awesome. I love it. And they deserve so much more, Jesse and Lisa. So that is unbelievable. They won 3 times in a row like that. They haven't really been winning for a long time. Yep. See, Jesse never, ever wins, So that is awesome. Okay. Any kind of seeds. Last 2 winners. Get your winners, just email me. I don't know if there's any super chat today or anything like that. If there's any super chats, thank you guys for doing it. If anybody gave out membership today, thank you so much. Yarn again. Congratulations to Yarn again. You won yourself some seeds. What kind of seeds do you want, Yarn again? Out as fast as I can. There you go. Cruise in Alaska. And I'm definitely going. So is Joey. Joey's going and Julie's going. Joey probably have mustache for that time. Melanie's not here. What is going on here? Maybe I shouldn't have shuffled. Congratulations to Melanie. Wow, this is crazy. Yarn again. Wow, thank you, Tomato, please. Okay, hold on. Okay, Yarn again. Make sure you email me. You want a solar flare from M.I. Gardner. Solar flare. So congratulations, Yarn again. Melanie is the last winner. Last one of the night. Yeah, go play the lottery. Congratulations, Yarn. Suzanne Goulet. Congratulations, Suzanne Goulet. Is Suzanne here? Is Suzanne here? I don't know if Suzanne's here. So we'll find out in a second. But thank you, every single person that came on the show tonight. I appreciate you guys for all the support. The interviews mean so much. I'm trying to get the top people in the world to do these interviews or up and coming. And I want to also showcase other people that's been here supporting us in something that we could show. Next week, I want to try to support more yarn channels. And so they're going to be in the 5-10 minute segments. So hopefully you guys can be there for that. And I sort of have a guess, but it's not totally in sync yet. So Seed says, Suzanne says, Seed says, I'm on another live, guys. Okay, well, Suzanne, you won. What did you win? No, let me see. Oh, you're welcome. Suzanne Goulet. I'll take the seeds. This is what you won. Coxcomb. So, congratulations to Susan Goulet. Suzanne, make sure you email me. So, again, thank you for all your support. We're going to have Jess from Roots and Refuge on coming very soon. We're just confirming a date because it's a crazy time when you're doing as much as she has. It's you and to do our show, that it's amazing. Because right now you don't have any time. And just like Mary's Heirloom Seeds, they come on a show pretty much very late. And so much time so much work that has to be done. There is no time to do a show. You're just trying to do stuff for your family first. Family first, right? So, again, I hope you guys like that. And next week, we're going to do a couple yarny, crafty channels for the 5-10 minute segments so people could check them out. And everybody have a great night. I got my hands full this week. And just want to say I love you guys. And I'm reading all your comments, glancing at them right now. I remember when she canceled before. I can't wait to see her and you. Father Lily calls her the gardening fairy. Gardening fairy. So right now, I'm going to go eat something for dinner. I know it's 9. And then I'm going to go on Bake a Leg and Let's Dig It and check out her channel. At 10 o'clock, I'm going to be listening to Wide Family Farm. So that's my night tonight. So hope you guys we could bump into each other and hope you guys had a great time. And again, if anybody did any super chats or Venmos or PayPals, I really appreciate every little thing you guys give. It really helps out more than you could imagine. And happy growing season, guys. Happy growing season. My butt is going to be so sore. So sore. Bye, guys.